Hey guys, back at it again with another tutorial. So to begin, I'm going in with Bobbi Brown's Face Base Moisturiser and Primer in one combo, and I'm just moisturising that into my skin. This will just keep my foundation in place all day. So then I'm going in with the Schwarzkopfpro Got2Be Glued Brow Gel, and I'm just running that through on a spoolie and then just using my finger just to set the brows in place. These will just keep them sort of at that laminated fluffy effect. Then I'm going in with the Hello Halo highlight by Wet n Wild. This is the more goldy highlight. I usually use a pink, but I picked this one up to see what it was like, and it is beautiful. No surprises there. I really like this product. Then for foundation, I'm going in with the Maybelline Fit Me, and I'm just mixing two shades together because I am kind of tanned, kind of not. And I'm just buffing that into the skin using quite a large dense brush. Guys, this is actually really nice. It says it's got like a matte finish, but I think that Wet n Wild really helped keep it glowy. Then I'm going in with my Conceal and Define by 𝑬𝒀𝑬𝑺. This is concealer. I'm using the palest shade because I really want it to like highlight these areas. So I'm just buffing that in with the same foundation brush just to ensure that it all mixes really well together and there just isn't like an obvious kind of really light and then like tanned. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. So just blending that in, just going in with a smaller brush to get around my eyes. Then for contour, I'm going in with the makeuprevolution concealer stick. This is a foundation stick, and this is an F13, and I'm just really lightly tapping that into my skin, just finding the contours of my cheeks and going up onto the forehead to make that smaller, because Lord knows it needs to be smaller, and as well with my nose. Then I'm just going in with my Fenty Butter Powder, and I'm just taking this on a beauty blender and pressing this into my skin and making sure that it is flawless. This powder is insane. It's my favorite one, like it is literally my favorite powder ever. Then I'm going to just bronze up my cheeks with the Morphe, and this is the Icon Bronzer. This is huge, and honestly I think it's going to be better than the Charlotte Tilbury one. Big statement, but I have the Charlotte Tilbury one and I don't really like it, to be honest. Then I'm going in with the Jordan Tisha, and this is the blusher in Fruit Punch. Super peachy, really glowy, it's just stunning. So many good things to say about this blusher. I love it. Then for highlight, I'm going in with the 𝑬𝒀𝑐osmetics Solstice Palette. Honestly, I really don't reach for any other highlighters anymore. This is just like the one for me. Moving on to eyes, I'm going in with the P. Louise base in the shade 2, and I'm just patting that into my eyelid and then going over with a beauty blender. I do this in every tutorial. I might actually just miss this out now. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go with the Paints Ecstasy by P. Louise, and I'm just going to have this as like my base. So this is the first time using these paints in this way, and I really liked it. Super easy to blend out. I did kind of panic a little bit, but it was okay. It felt pretty good blending that out. So I'm just doing this in like a sort of V shape. Then I'm taking the shade Reckless from the Stacey Marie palette, and I'm just going over that. I want this to be like just like a dark kind of purpley blue sort of colour, and I'm just working that into that outer V and just flicking it out towards the temple. Then I'm going in with the shade, I think this is Persuasion, and this is like a pinky mauve-y, and I'm just buffing out those edges just to make sure they are blended and that this shape is exactly how I want it to be. So I'm just really slowly buffing away, and then I'm just taking the darker shades into that like lid area. Then I'm going in the shade Shuffle, which is that kind of mustardy yellow, and again I'm just buffing out the edges of this. I want this part to not be too super colourful, because the other part will be. Then I'm just taking Ecstasy onto that lower lash line and just sort of like buffing that in, and then I'm going to take all the shades that we used on top and bringing them below, and I'm just leaving that inner corner and like that inner third because we're going to put another colour there. Then I'm going in with the Lights Out on a really small brush, just going right into that corner and just really darkening it up. And this is actually not a necessary shade for like the shape that then we cut out. And I'm just working that all across the lid, making sure it's all dark. Okay, now I'm taking just a pencil, just a any white pencil, and creating the shape that I want to cut out. So this isn't really a cut crease, but it's a cut style. So then I'm just taking my Stellar Water and a cotton bud and just removing what I want to disappear. And I'm just going to take P. Louise's blank canvas just to really get this perfect and sketch it out properly. Man, this shape was so hard. I really didn't know what I was going for at the start of this. I thought this was just going to be like a nice smoky eye, and I was just like, nah, boring. So I just started creating this wavy shape, baby, wavy, wavy. So I'm just using the paints, I'm using Nitro, and I'm just going over that. I don't really think I needed to put blank canvas down, but I like to do it as like insurance. I don't really know why, but I'm just popping that Nitro on and just following what we've done with the blank canvas. Then on the lash line, I'm just taking a little bit of Ecstasy just to really darken it up. I just felt it looked a bit too bright, and I just wanted that really nice blues blend. So I'm just taking a little bit of Showboat from the palette, and then I'm taking the Helen E Neon Yellow Pigment and creating sort of like this green into yellow colour. Then I'm taking the Silver Liner in the shade Freezie, and I am just going over the edges of where the blue is, and then I go over the edges of the yellow with the Silver Liner in Dance Party. This was really not actually necessary, but I felt like it just made it really neat, but it really wasn't necessary. Okay, then I'm just darkening the outer corner because I feel like I lost a bit of the definition, and then I'm just going to take some little stars and just put them through my brow and make it look like they're coming out of this weird and wonderful shape that I just created. So I'm just applying some stars. I use NYX glitter glue just to set them down and make sure they don't move. So I'm just putting some of that Helen E Neon Pigment into my inner waterline and applying some mascara, the Maybelline Falsies Lash Lift. I really need a new one. And then I'm just taking the Silver Liner into that inner waterline. Then I'm just going to with Tatty Lash in TL2 and just applying them. I don't cut these ones in half, I keep them pretty beefy. Then I'm just applying some mascara to the lower lash line, and I'm using the Silver Liner in Dance Party for my inner lashes. I wanted them to be yellow. Then I'm going in with brow jams in Brown Sugar, and this is the pomade. I'm creating some brow strokes through my hairs. Then I'm going with MAC's Cork, overlining my lips as per usual. Guys, this is absolutely nothing new. I probably will now start to cut this out of my next tutorials. Again, MAC's Best of Me, and then I just go over the top with a little bit of Fenty in Fussy. And just so my lips are glossy and glossy. Then I'm just going to take some of my white paint and just start flicking that more just over like the brow area and higher. And then I'm just going to take a little bit of Doll Beauty's highlight just for that little bit of extra pop. Again, this is just not necessary at all. So this is the final look, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I did go in and sort a little bit of the shape. I'm going to insert a little clip to show you because I just wasn't quite happy. So this is the final look. Guys, thank you so much for watching. See you in the next one. Bye!